If there's a full moon out, do you think that would affect Hydro Man? What if it's a blood moon? Because Hydro Man has an ability where he turns into a land and can tap for blue. Blood Moon has an ability that turns non-basic lands into mountains. So what is Hydro Man going to look like in the end? Well, Hydro Man and Blood Moon are both continuous effects that deal with changing characteristics, so they're going to deal with the layers. Hydro Man has an ability that changes its type to a land and gives it an ability to tap for blue. Blood Moon also modifies the type of something to mountains. For type changing effects, we apply that on layer 4, but we have 2 here that we need to apply, so which one do we know to apply first? Well, usually when we're trying to apply multiple continuous effects to the same thing, we apply them in a timestamp order. So if Blood Moon was on the battlefield first, we would try to apply its effect first, and then we would try to apply Hydro Man. If the application of one of those effects would impact the effect of the other, then the other effect depends on that first effect. This is what we call the dependency system, which will override the timestamp system. So because Hydro Man's ability to turn into a land would impact how many things Blood Moon will affect, that means that Blood Moon depends on Hydro Man's ability. So we will apply Hydro Man's ability first, and then Blood Moon can apply. Which means Hydro Man will turn into a land, and Blood Moon will turn it into a mountain. Now, sometimes when something changes something from one type to another, it will say in addition to, which means it keeps all the other previous types that it had. Now, if it doesn't say in addition to or artifact creature for some reason, then it does not retain its prior type, and it will replace any corresponding card types and or subtypes. Blood Moon does not say it turns it into a mountain in addition to its other types, which means that it replaces the text of that card to the text of a mountain, which as a byproduct will replace all the text of that land to the text that is intrinsic to a basic land type, which is the ability to tap for whatever mana symbol it represents. So when we're finished applying layer 4, Hydro Man will look something like this. There's a little bit more to this, because once part of an effect begins to apply on a layer, the entirety of that effect will continue to apply even if it's removed later on. Remember, I said Hydro Man has an ability that changes his type and adds an ability. And that is all done because of this one block of text here, which makes this block of text one entire ability. It's just the effect applies in 2 different parts. So because Hydro Man did get to apply his effect first on layer 4, that means his little buddy on layer 6 will also continue to apply. Because this got to squeeze in and start applying to the layers before anything could stop it, it got to bring its friend along with it. So in the end, Hydro Man will look something more like this.